You ever step into a place and feel like you've been there before? Smell the air, hear a tune, and suddenly, it's like stepping into a memory that ain't yours. Happens more than you'd think, especially in places like this, where the past don't just linger, it plays on repeat. This story? It starts with a man named Daniel Carter, a man who thought he knew who he was. But that night, in the Blue Orchid, he learned something different. The Blue Orchid wasn't just any jazz club. It was the kind of place where the air itself hummed with stories, where the ghosts of old melodies remained in the rafters. Daniel Carter didn't belong there. He knew it the second he stepped inside. But the music pulled him in. The piano whispered a tune so smooth it could lull the devil to sleep. The bass rumbled deep in the walls like a heartbeat. A tenor sax cried out, raw and longing. Then, everything stopped. The room went quiet. The bartender froze, mid-pour. Every eye turned to Daniel like he'd just crawled out of a grave. Someone said quietly, "Jack's back." A woman at the bar in a red dress let out a sharp breath. Then she ran to him, threw her arms around him and exclaimed, "You came back." Daniel stiffened. He didn't know this woman. He didn't know these people. And he sure as hell wasn't Jack. He tried to speak, but before he could, the bartender slapped a whiskey in front of him. "On the house, Jack." A sax player on stage grinned. "About time, man. Thought we lost you." The woman in red, Eve, smiled, but there was something else in her eyes, something between relief and fear. "You look different," she murmured. Daniel's forehead was slick with sweat. His pulse pounded against his ribs. He could correct them, tell them he wasn't Jack, but something held him back. Then Eve did something unexpected. She dragged him toward the stage. "Come on, Jack," she said, eyes daring him. "Show us you still got it." Daniel blinked. "Still got what?" She pointed to the piano. His stomach flipped. "Oh, no, I don't play." Laughter rippled through the club. The bartender smirked. The sax player shook his head, and Eve leaned in close. "You sure about that?" Then she pushed him onto the piano bench. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. The keys stared back at him, gleaming under the soft stage lights. The room waited. Eve sat and smiled. "Play, Jack." Daniel's fingers hovered over the keys. His palms were damp. His heartbeat pounded in his ears. This was insane. He'd never played a piano in his life, but then something moved inside him. A melody drifted into his mind, something slow, something sad. His fingers fell onto the keys, and suddenly, he was playing. The sound poured out of him, haunting, effortless, like a memory being pulled from some hidden part of his soul. Everyone in the club looked on intently. Even Eve looked stunned. The bartender whispered, "It's him. It has to be." But Daniel wasn't hearing them anymore, because he wasn't in control. His hands moved on their own. And the song felt like it had always been there, like it was waiting for him to remember it. The final notes lingered in the air, trembling. The room erupted in applause. Daniel sat there, frozen, because now he had a bigger question. Who the hell was Jack? A voice behind him said, "Not bad." Daniel turned, and his world tilted, because standing at the edge of the stage, hands in his pockets, smirking like he'd just heard the world's funniest joke, was him. Another Daniel, but no, not Daniel. Jack. The club fell deathly quiet again. Jack took a step forward, shaking his head. "Guess I should have known I couldn't stay dead forever." Daniel's mouth went dry. "You're me." "Other way around, pal." Eve stared at them both, confused. Jack exhaled. Welcome to the club, brother. Daniel couldn't breathe. His hands still tingled from playing that song, Jack's song. And suddenly, for the first time in his life, he was sure who he really was. And just like that, the story changed. Two men, same face, same hands, same song, but only one of them was supposed to exist. Now tell me, friend, if you woke up one day and the world thought you were someone else, would you play along? Or would you start to wonder, maybe I'm not who I think I am? I'm Dexter Lane. Join me for more stories from the Jazz Detective.